A claps.
What it do, T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade, Ready to Love Season 7 Reunion Part 2. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously or literally, meaning my jokes and jones. So if that works for you, then let's get into this review. Part 2 of the reunion kicks off with Tony trying to check on Morgan backstage, but she wants a minute to herself and slams the door on him. And he immediately goes and sit next to Marcy and puts his arm around her like it's all good, like he ain't tripping or nothing like that. Which just goes to show you he's immature and he's a clown, because if you really truly cared about her, then why are you going to sit next to the same woman that you already said that if she was still in the process, you would have chosen her over Morgan? So that just says a lot about his character and how petty that he is. So we then go back on stage and it's the Lyndon versus Tony segment. And, you know, they didn't really say anything disrespectful to each other or whatever. But when it came time for Morgan to jump in, she was like, you know, as far as Tony is concerned, she was like, I see that I gave him too much grace. I felt like Marcy would have been a good distraction for him while I was able to explore. And Marcy was like, I'm not a distraction. And Morgan was like, no shade, sweetheart, but you definitely would have been, because he would have had someone else to entertain. And Marcy was like, but I said I'm not a distraction. Like, I don't know who you think you talking to, because I'm more than a distraction, honey. Obviously, if I would have still been in the process, he would have chose me over you, like he said, since you want to be throwing subliminals. You know what I'm saying? So, Morgan was like, you're right, you weren't, because you weren't there. And Marcy was like, why are you so upset? Morgan was like, I have every right to be, but I'm not upset with you, so stay in your lane. And Marcy was like, I'm not your issue, sis. And Morgan was like, Marcy, girl, shut up. And I told y'all in my cast breakdown video that those two were either going to get along or they were going to be vying for the same man and get into it. And I was spot on. And I was spot on when it came to Tony, when I said that he was going to be a player. He was going to be all up on himself. He was going to be cocky. I read them for accuracy, not filth, accuracy. I knew it. I don't understand the heat coming from Morgan towards Marcy. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it's because he said what he said during the process and that made her feel some type of way. I don't know, but it was odd because they was cool at first and then things went left. So then it gets to Tony's segment, and backstage, before everybody goes back on stage, Morgan says to Marcy, sweetheart, what's up? And Marcy was like, Morgan, stop. And she was like, I just want to know what the problem is. Marcy was like, there's no problem, just don't mention me. And Morgan was like, let me tell you something. And Marcy was like, Morgan, shut the F up. And Morgan was like, you shut the F up. Did it trigger you, sweetheart? And Marcy was like, you the only one that looked like a fool on national TV. And Morgan was like, no, baby, you look like someone's second choice. And I was like, but is she? Because it seems like you were in all actuality, and you're trying to make yourself feel better about the situation. I mean, at the end of the day, like, Morgan, love, you sitting up here doing all this for a man who hairline literally looks like a U-turn. Like, so no love. It ain't even that deep. I think that Morgan makes for great television. I watched her interview with Carlos, and I think that she and Tony would be great additions to like a loving marriage Miami. I think that they would be great on the show. She makes for great television. But Tony, child, please, he is not worth it at all. So Tommy confronts Tony on dealing with Natasha after she left the process, which is against the rule because you're supposed to stay open minded to the people that are actually there. You're not supposed to continue to try to talk to somebody that's already out of it. And he just basically makes excuses like, well, he didn't even try to make an excuse. He was just like, we was dealing with each other. It is what it is. He said they had a little quick look, relationship. So he asks, apparently she lets us know that Tony asked her if she wanted him to leave the process. And Tommy asked him, like, would you have? And he was like, I don't know about that. So you was basically just spitting game to Shorty, souping her head up. So then she says that all of a sudden he ghosted her and blocked her. And Tony was like, I did that because I found out you told the producers that we slept together. So I felt like you were looking for clout. Do anything for clout. You're doing it. Do anything for clout. Now, Natasha claims that people were coming to her saying that he got a drinking problem and she feels like he's a manipulator, and Morgan agrees. I'm like, but Morgan, how much of a manipulator was he? Because at the end of the process, you chose to stay single, but then afterwards you went running right back to him to deal with him. Like, you try to put yourself up on this pedestal like you so strong and you ain't gonna let nobody play you, but you then gave him a second chance. So it's just like, girl, sit down. So Tony says he and Marcia, however, are just friends and that they go out during the day, and he confides in her. And the reason why they go out during the daytime is because, she ain't trying to take it no further or anything like that. I don't bit more believe it. I do not believe it. I think that if the timing is right, if the drinks is flowing and that coochie get hot, she gonna drop it like it's hot, okay? I do not believe that at all. Now, as far as Tony and Natasha is concerned, I mean, girl, what you expect from a man that you let hit after only knowing him for 2 weeks? Girl, I mean, come on, you too old to be acting like you don't know what it is and know what it was, child. So I can't even feel sorry for her over feeling some way about him ghosting her. Like, girl, you had sex with him right off the bat. What did you think was going to happen? Like, you thought y'all was going to run off into the sunset? And sometimes it does happen that way. But 9 times out of 10, once the niggas get the drugs, they are gone. So then we get to Cynthia and Anthony section, they segment. And we find out that they did date after the process, but she did something and was talking to him crazy, didn't handle him correctly. And she says that she realized that she wasn't emotionally available, but that she's going to do what she needs to do to get herself together because he's worth it. So I guess they on a hiatus or a break. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Cynthia talking about. I think Cynthia probably was talking slick at the mouth to that man, and he was like, I don't know who you think you talking to or who you think you about to be arguing with, but I ain't the one. I ain't the one. This ain't that at all. And I think that probably surprised her that he wasn't like no pushover, because she seemed like she, especially looking at her baby daddy, her ex-husband, or whoever he was to her, like she probably deal with men that come with drama. And Anthony doesn't seem like he's that type. So I feel like that's what happened between them. So don't know if they, rekindled anything since then, because the reunion was filmed back in December. So who knows what happened between them. And that was pretty much it for the second half of the reunion. We found out that Ready to Love Dallas is the next city, and that they are actually going to return with the next season in June, and it'll be on Thursday nights now. So I'll be having lots of things to review on Thursdays. So yeah, we got a quick turnaround. It'll only be off the air for a month and a half before it comes back on, maybe 2. Overall, I'm gonna give part 2 of the reunion, I'm gonna give it an A-. It was good. It was juicy. It was drama filled. It was all of that. Overall, I'm gonna give season 7 of Ready to Love I'm gonna give season 7 of Ready to Love a C+. A C+. It was good. I've had better seasons with more drama. But overall, it was a decent season. It was decent. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what you guys thought of the reunion part 2. If you all have not checked out my interview with Winter Williams from Love and Marriage DC, make sure that you do. It was a great interview. And as well, check out my interview with Snowfall and BMF actress Christine Horn. Both videos are up right now. You guys make sure you thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.